Former county clerk in Kentucky this week asked the U.S. Supreme Court to overrule its landmark decision, which legalized same-sex marriage nationally.
It would be up to the states to determine the legality of same-sex marriage and their borders. Grave Media political correspondent Jessica Umbro talked to people on both sides of this discussion.
Feedback was mixed on whether former Rowan County, Kentucky clerk Kim Davis's day in court is done or if it's still to be had. Davis is asking the Supreme Court to do two things: decide if she was protected by the First Amendment to deny marriage licenses for same-sex couples based on her religious beliefs, and to reconsider legalizing gay marriage nationwide.
Becoming a state employee does not remove your religious freedom protection, and I think she's entitled to that.
Eric Johnston is a lawyer who helped shape Alabama's policies banning same-sex marriage before the Obergefell versus Hodges decision. He says denying marriage licenses for Kim Davis is about religious freedom. Earlier this year, a federal court ruled against the argument that Davis was protected by the First Amendment when she denied the licenses. But Johnston said the U.S. Supreme Court looks different now than it did in 2015, when it ruled 5-4 to legalize same-sex marriage. He says the court, similar to Roe versus Wade, could overturn Obergefell.
Because of Dobbs, there may be a good chance that this case would be, this issue of same-sex marriage would be reviewed.
Birmingham pastor Paul Tucker, an LGBTQ community member and advocate, says Davis's personal argument is a closed case.
It is a shame that this is going to hopefully waste court time because this decision has been settled.
Tucker says the current Supreme Court's decision to overturn landmark cases like Roe versus Wade do make the chances of overturning Obergefell a real possibility, but has a message to people who are worried about that happening.
We have been through these things before. We will get through them again if they rear their heads, and we will stand together.
If this is considered by the Supreme Court, they could decide to rule in favor of Davis's First Amendment argument while still preserving Obergefell. They could do the opposite, or they could take an entirely different route. If Obergefell is overturned, the legal status of same-sex marriage would go to the states. Reporting in Montgomery, I'm Jessica Umbro.
The Supreme Court hears less than 1% of cases that are petitioned to their court, so they could decide not to hear any of Davis's arguments.